If you've been watching the markets lately, you probably noticed one metal is shining really, really brightly. And no, for once, we're not talking about gold. We're talking about silver. Its price has been on an absolutely incredible run. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why silver is surging and what the experts think is coming next. Let's dive in.
All right, let's just cut straight to the chase. The headline number, $53 an ounce. For metal that was kind of stuck in the $20 range for what felt like forever, this is a massive, monumental leap.
And that, of course, brings us to the big question. Why? What is fueling this fire? How did silver's value just explode so fast? And more importantly, is this just the beginning? We're going to unpack every single factor behind this surge.
So to understand where we might be going, we first have to appreciate just how dramatic this journey has been. Let's take a quick look back at the timeline of this incredible climb.
You know, the key here is the speed, the acceleration. Think about it. Back in October 2023, silver was just hanging around $23 an ounce. By March of 2024, it finally broke through that $30 ceiling. But then, the surge really kicked into high gear, hitting over $38 in August 2025 and then peaking above $54 just a couple of months later. That is a staggering 127% gain in just 2 years.
Wow! So what's behind a move like that? Well, it's not just one thing. Analysts are pointing to what they're calling a perfect storm of factors. We're going to break it all down into 4 key pillars that are holding up this new, higher price.
And here they are. First, a fundamental supply deficit. Second, rock-solid industrial demand. Third, a weaker US dollar, which makes silver cheaper for foreign buyers. And fourth, a huge wave of investor interest, from the big funds all the way down to individual buyers. So let's start with that supply deficit.
So this is absolutely crucial. A supply deficit, it just means the world wants more silver than miners can actually pull out of the ground. And get this, 2025 is on track to be the 5th straight year of this deficit. The thing is, most silver is a byproduct of mining for other metals, like copper and zinc. So miners can't just decide to produce more silver. You can't just flip a switch, even when prices are this high.
So who wants all this silver? Well, a massive part of the answer is industry. See, silver isn't just a pretty metal for coins and jewelry anymore. It is a critical, essential component in solar panels, in countless electronics, and in electric vehicles. This isn't just speculation, it's fundamental, real-world demand, and it's only growing as the world shifts towards green energy.
And look, this lines up perfectly with what the experts are saying. As Nitesh Shah over at Wisdom Tree puts it, the fundamentals are firm. You have a real physical shortage of the metal combined with strong, consistent industrial buying. That creates a really powerful floor for the price.
Okay, so now we know why the prices surged. But the big question, maybe the $65 question, is what happens next? Let's take a look at what some of the biggest names in finance are predicting for 2026.
And what a range this is. I mean, it's all over the map. On the really bullish side, you've got Bank of America targeting $65. UBS is also bullish at around $55. ING is feeling pretty optimistic, near $50. But then you have Scotiabank with a much more conservative forecast of $33. That would actually be a pretty big drop from where we are now. This spread tells you there's still a ton of debate and uncertainty out there.
And if you look beyond the big banks, the excitement is even more real. We found one jeweler and market commentator who thinks the momentum could carry silver all the way up into the $75 to $85 range before it finally cools off. That just shows you how much fear of missing out, FOMO, is playing a role right now.
But to really understand why so many analysts are bullish on silver, you can't just look at it in a vacuum. You have to compare it to its big brother, gold. And the key to that whole comparison is something called the gold to silver ratio.
So what is this ratio?
It's actually really simple. It's just the number of silver ounces you need to buy 1 single ounce of gold. When that number goes down, it means silver is gaining value faster than gold is. It means silver is winning the race. And just look at this chart. Back in April, it took 105 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. Today, that number is down to just 87. That is a massive outperformance by silver. And the investment bank Macquarie predicts that trend is going to continue, with the ratio falling even further to 83 by 2026. This is exactly why so many investors see silver as having way more room to run right now. All right, we've covered a lot of ground here, from supply shortages to Wall Street forecasts. So let's pull it all together and focus on the most important things you should take away from all this.
So here are the crucial points. Number 1, this rally is built on a real-world supply and demand problem. 2, silver wears 2 hats.
it's a safe haven investment like gold, and it's an essential industrial metal. 3. Big picture economic factors like a weaker dollar are giving it a major boost. 4. The smart money expects silver to keep beating gold. And finally, a practical tip, especially for those of us in Pakistan, while we all love our silver jewelry, don't buy it thinking it's a quick investment. The making charges and retail costs are so high that you just won't see a profit in the short term.
And all of this leaves us with one final big thought. For literally thousands of years, silver was money. But today, its future seems completely tied to technology, to green energy, to industry. So the question is, will its new role as a 21st century industrial powerhouse completely overshadow its ancient identity as a store of value? That right there is the tension that's going to define silver for years to come.